Hey guys, welcome back to another classic hardcore dungeon run in World of Warcraft. This time we're playing the Hunter and we are doing Wailing Caverns. I actually already ran it once, tried to record it, but the recording didn't come out right. I think I had some settings messed up. So we're going to do it again. I do have one more quest in there that I need to finish anyways, because my bags were full, and so I guess I forgot to pick up the quest item off the very last boss that you do after the little escort thing. So I'm going to go back in there with a pug group again, just pick up group from LFG channel, and we'll get it done. But anyways, I wanted to show you, I'm flying to Crossroads real quick, so I'll take a few minutes to show you kind of what I'm doing on my Hunter here. Show you the gear I'm working with. I am a leather worker, so I made some of this gear myself, like these shoulders. But anyways, some decent stuff. I am level 24 at this point. I ran this for the first time. Level 22. Yeah, 22. Honestly, you could do it at level 20 and up as a DPS, no problem. I just like to wait until I'm a little bit higher. Also, I was busy questing, and I just happened to be 22 by the time I got around to running Wailing Caverns for the first time. So it's going to be real easy this time as a level 24. As a hunter, the main thing I recommend, obviously, stack agility. In hardcore, stamina is also your friend. The bow is the main thing that you want to keep upgrading. Make sure that this is keeping up with your level within, you know, a handful of levels of where you're at. Before this, I had I think it was called a short ash bow or something like that. It was a level 18 green bow. I just picked this up when I hit 24. So this was fairly cheap on Auction House. I bought it. It says there 97 silver. That's not what I just paid for it. I bought it for about 40 silver. I think it was 40 silver and a little bit of change. So very affordable. It was actually cheaper than the level 22 bow that was also on Auction House for like 60 silver. So for some reason this one was cheaper. I didn't buy the level 22 one. Like I said, I was still using the level 18 bow, but I just upgraded to this one. So we're really going to be pumping out some decent DPS in this Wailing Caverns run. That's the gear. As far as talent choices, I'm leveling Beastmaster. It's pretty standard for hunters. You can see what I've got so far in talents there. Let's see if there's anything in particular that I would call out. I like having the speed for the pet because I'm not using a boar. He doesn't have charge. I'm using the cat. This is nice. Obviously, pathfinding, increase that speed boost from Cheetah is huge. Enhanced training, this is nice for leveling. Gives your pet more health so you can tank more mobs. This is good just for straight DPS, so you can see I'm still working. Anytime I have extra points, I just kind of dump them into that. So I'm trying to work to the next level right now, so I'm going to put another point in that next. Thick hide, again, armor rating for your pet. So these two are for your pet durability. Really good for questing and tanking mobs while you're questing. Improved revive pet, this just revives it faster. It's really the mana cost is what I like about that. Reduction in mana cost is pretty good for you there. So that's about where we're at right now in our early 20s. Some notes about some other stuff. Let's see, macros and abilities. Your basic rotation here, when you're questing, you're going to use concussive shot a lot. Basically, I start off every pull, and this goes for mostly questing. In dungeons, I try to do this, but it depends on how much mana I'm using and how low I'm getting. But use Hunter's Mark. My Hunter's Mark is currently set up with a macro to start pet attack as well, so it'll automatically send the pet in when I set a Hunter's Mark. If I don't want the pet to attack, I don't put a Hunter's Mark on it. It's pretty simple. So that's a good one there. You also have start attack there, so it'll automatically start an attack. Not really important because it's not going to shoot your bow. It's really just melee attack. But I just like to have that in there to start attack at the beginning of any pull. Now, beyond that, you're going to have like concussive shot for slowing down a mob. If it's going to start running towards you, I like to use this to pull. If I'm trying to pull a mob away from somewhere, this just gives me more time to shoot it before it gets to me, right? Pretty simple, very similar macro to the Hunter's Mark. Then we have Serpent Sting. I do have this set up with a pet attack as well. So again, when I'm in a dungeon, if I don't want my pet to attack something, I don't use Serpent Sting and I don't use Hunter's Mark. I just go straight for the Arcane Shot or Concussive Shot if I need to slow it first. But that's more particular to dungeons and situational use. But I just wanted to let you know, because these macros do have pet attack in there, be careful when you're sending your pet in to attack. Make sure he's not going to aggro more mobs. If you're trying to pull something back further away from other mobs, you don't want to send your pet in, right? So that's the main thing there. I also have a macro set up for just switching between Cheetah and Aspect of the Hawk on the same button, which is nice to have. So your basic rotation, kind of like I was saying, you can throw Hunter's Mark, and then any of your ranged abilities are going to start auto shoot with your bow anyways. So I just go straight for Concussive Shot if I'm going to use that. If I don't need to slow the target, I just go straight for Serpent Sting. Sometimes I'll skip the Hunter's Mark and just start with Serpent Sting if it's going to be a mob that's going to go down really quick. I'm not going to bother wasting mana there. Or if I'm already getting low on mana, I'm not going to use the mana for a Hunter's Mark. I'll just go straight to Serpent Sting, and that's why I have the pet attack macroed in with that one as well. Beyond that, you're just hitting Arcane Shot a whole bunch. If you want some extra DPS and you're not worried about mana, throw a multi-shot in there as well. It does not use an auto shot, so you'll get some extra damage out of that, even if it's a single target. I know it hits multiple targets, but you'll still get extra DPS even hitting a single target with it. But that does use a lot more mana. It's double the mana that an Arcane Shot is. So use it situationally. Really good for pumping up your DPS on pulls with multiple mobs, though. If you got like 3 or more mobs in a pull and you're confident your tank has good threat built up, go ahead and pop a multi-shot, and you'll see a nice boost in your overall DPS from that. Because I'm level 24, I do now have Scorpid Sting. I'm probably really not going to use that very much. It's a little bit higher on the mana cost. On a boss, maybe, right? But most mobs are going to drop too quick to really get the value out of that. For melee setup, I have it set up on my function keys, 5 through 7. Basically just attack with melee, start your auto attack, Raptor Strike, and then Wing Clip. As a hunter, hopefully you very rarely have to use these, but every once in a while you need to melee when the mob runs up to you and your pet loses aggro. Raptor Strike is nice to pop off at that point. You do have a little bit of crowd control here, right? So you got like Freezing Trap. This cannot be placed during combat, though. So outside of combat, though, you could place this right in front of you, and that way if you do pull aggro in the pull, that mob, when it runs to you, will get frozen until the tank can come and grab it. Really handy little trick there. You also have a fear for beasts. Just be careful with this. You don't want to fear a mob into other mobs and aggro, get additional mobs into your pull there through that aggro. So just I rarely use this, honestly. It's kind of like for certain situations where it might come in handy, but I honestly don't really use it much. I'm not a big fan of fears just because I can't control where the mob is going. I like to control the situation better than that, and as a hunter, that's not too hard to do. I also have Berserking, racial ability there, kind of handy. So that pretty much covers your ability. Oh yeah, and disengage. If you do pull threat during or pull aggro from the tank, go ahead and disengage as soon as that mob gets to you with it. I think it has to be melee range, right? Yeah, melee range. Go ahead and pop a disengage, and 8 times out of 10 it'll drop that aggro, and that mob will run right back to the tank. Really nice, handy little trick there. Disengage until you get faint. This is going to be your best friend when you pull aggro in a dungeon or in any group setting. It actually works well with your pet as well while questing. I do use this a good bit while questing when I pull threat off of my pet, and then I'll pop disengage when the mob gets to me, and it'll go back onto my pet, and then I can back off and start shooting it again. So I think that pretty much covers it. The only other thing I want to mention, I don't have my pet out right now. As far as your pet control goes, this is somewhere where a lot of new hunters struggle, so I want to kind of focus on this for a minute. I already mentioned the pet attack macro to get your pet to go in, right? I always keep my pet on passive. I don't want him attacking anything that I don't tell him to attack, ever. Okay, so I always keep the pet on passive. If I want him to attack something, I hit one of these buttons with the macroed pet attack in there. You can also just hit Control 1, I think, by default to do pet attack. The abilities. Taunt is fine while you're questing. Have that turned on auto. Some people say have it turned off auto because you don't really need the taunt. You shouldn't be pulling aggro off your pet, even with him not using taunt. I find that not to be the case. I don't know if I'm just doing more DPS, my pet sucks, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe you're supposed to wait longer at the start to let your pet get aggro, but when I'm questing and it's just me soloing with my pet, I pull aggro off him almost instantly every time. So I do use taunt on auto. Yes, it uses some of his energy or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. And then you have the other, his DPS abilities just set on auto, obviously, so you can rage dump or energy dump at the start of a pull. So as far as taunt, in this case Growl, as far as the taunt goes in dungeons, in a dungeon setting, obviously turn it off auto. Do not have it on. I mean, if your tank tells you to, go ahead. Okay, that's up to the tank. I have had situations where a tank said go ahead and let the pet tank a little bit. I pretty much just always leave it off, and I'm going to manually tell the pet to taunt in dungeons regardless. I have it keybound. It should be keybound. Let me double check real quick. That's not it. I need to go here. Yes, okay, it is keybound. I have it keybound to, what do you call that? I'm not even sure. It's the button right to the left of your one key, right? It's got the little squiggly line on top and then that kind of comma looking thing under it. That's the button that I have the pet taunt bound to, because it's very easy for me to hit that at any time while I'm in the middle of combat, right? Because I already have my fingers on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons for my abilities. So I could just quickly reach over, tell my pet to taunt anytime I need to, but that button is out of the way, so it's unlikely that I accidentally hit it. Yeah, use taunt. If you pull aggro off the tank, you can tell your pet to taunt that mob that's coming after you, and it'll stop it from getting to you. That way you don't have to move. You can just keep DPSing. Just switch targets so that you don't keep building more threat on that one, so that the tank can grab that mob back easily. But yeah, that's basically just have it keybound somewhere on your mouse. On a mouse button is also handy. You can have a lot of hunters, and this is a really smart way to do it, have their mouse wheel set up to where when they mouse wheel up, it sends the pet into attack. Mouse wheel down, it'll tell the pet to come back, basically by just hitting the passive. I think you can hit passive or follow, and it'll call the pet back to you. And then they have the mouse click, the middle mouse button click, or the wheel click, as the taunt. And that gives you a lot of control of your pet right there on the mouse. But that's one thing as a hunter, to avoid the stigma of hunters. Please learn to be a smart hunter. Don't be a huntard, okay? Learn to use your pet, learn to control your pet appropriately, practice it while you're questing. Don't just wait until you're in a dungeon to do this stuff. Practice this constantly while you're questing. Pet control is the #1 reason that people don't like hunters, or a lack of pet control. If you're a hunter that knows how to control your pet really well, and people never have a single complaint about your pet, you will have no problem finding a group for dungeons, raids, whatever in your guild. You'll become known for being a good hunter. That's important, okay? So please learn to control your pet. Too many times, I think in hardcore, we have seen a hunter's pet pull extra mobs and then cause a wipe, or at least cause the tank to die or somebody, right? Don't be that guy, please. I think I'm just sitting here for a second while I look for a group, but I think that pretty much covers it as far as using a hunter at this level in the game. You can see what we're using for abilities. You can see kind of what the general strategy is. Hunters are capable, at this point in the game, you're capable of some really good DPS. I'm talking like top DPS in a group. So, as long as you learn proper rotation, using abilities, controlling your pet appropriately, controlling your threat, dropping aggro, things like that, you should be really, really solid at this point in the game, through your 20s, 30s, and beyond. But anyway, so yeah, now we're going to jump in and do a Wailing Caverns run. I'll let you guys see how that goes. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions or tips that I haven't covered, maybe specific add-ons. I don't really have any special add-ons or anything for the hunter. I'm not sure that there's any that are needed at this point in the early to mid 20s. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If this is helpful, that's kind of my goal. I just want to help some new hunters learn how to be an effective hunter and not cause wipes in dungeons. So hopefully I help at least one person do that or accomplish that. I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, find a group, and then I'll see you once we're in the dungeon. Alright, welcome back. We got into a group here. Pretty good group overall, except for the priest. So we got a 22 warrior, we got a 23 warlock, and a 23 shaman. So we have 2 pets. Everybody is above level 22, which is kind of what I prefer. Then we have a level 17 priest. Obviously with somebody that low level, you're going to worry about body pulls, right? If she gets too close, or he, the character is a girl, so I just say she. You know, if they get too close to mobs, being such a low level, that distance is quite far where they will pull mobs, just by being too close. And that, like I said, that distance is not very close at all for that big of a level difference. So that being said, they're going to try and stay in the back. We're going to be careful, but we have 2 pets that can taunt off of her. I do believe the priest is healing, but we do have the shaman for off heals, and they're aware of that. So, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think we'll be able to get through it okay. So basically right now, we just, as you saw, we just entered the cave in the Barrens at the Oasis. And now we're just going through the cave to get to the actual instance for Wailing Caverns. Okay. Because I do have the Oni buff, Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, and because I am the highest level in the group, I'm going to be pulling aggro quite easily off of the tank. He's aware of that. We discussed it already. I'm going to try and mitigate that as much as possible by giving him time to build threat. But basically what our plan is, he's going to hold threat on all targets except one, the one that I'm DPSing. I'm going to just have my... No, sure, I do that all the time. I'm going to just be basically having my pet taunt that one, tank the target that I'm burning down, and I'm just going to burn it down as quickly as I can, and then to conserve mana after that point, I'll probably just auto-shoot the other mobs down. So at the beginning of each pull, I'm basically trying to burn one target really fast. And I'm going to have my pet tank it as much as possible. Hopefully, it is a cat, so it's not the best tanking pet, but it doesn't really matter that much. You can tank with any pet, really, at this point in the game, at this level. So... we do have... I'm still using Ice Cold Milk. I don't use it that much, so I still have this left over from leveling. Really, you can have, what's it called, melon juice or whatever at this point. It would be better. But hopefully I don't need to use it all that much anyways. I do need to remember to switch my aspect. That would be helpful, huh? And we're going to go ahead and start this. So let's do a mark. We'll send the pet in. I'm going to give him a minute to build some aggro. Or build some threat so he can hold aggro, and then I'll go in with the DPS. It'll take me a few, just kind of trial and error. I'll watch on these first few pulls that we do and see how long it really takes for me to pull aggro off of him, and how long I need to let him hold the... Oh. I accidentally hit Hunter's Mark there, but that's okay. Okay, he should have plenty of threat built up on that one, right? And don't look too bad. Okay. So it is important, though. Definitely make sure you're not pulling aggro on more. That's why I'm not going to use multi-shot hardly at all in this, except towards the end of a pull, maybe. Just so I know there was a raptor up there I could skin. I'm not going to go back, though. I'm lazy. But yeah, multi-shot, I don't want to use very much. A, for the mana, and B, just because it'll pull threat, or pull aggro by doing a lot of threat to some of the other mobs. Because I am getting the AP bonus, the attack power bonus from that buff, and just the fact that I'm higher level than everybody else, basically. That's better. And then if a mob does ever run up to me because I pulled aggro, of course I have disengage. So far, pretty smooth though. This room is the room where you got to worry about extra pulls. Honestly. Once we get past this room, there is one other area in the caves, or the maze area, where I think you have to worry about some extra pulls, but for the most part, it won't be too bad. Even with the level 17 that we have. Yeah, I guess we're not skinning very many of these, that's fine. Maybe I can go get these ones real quick. One thing I don't think I mentioned in the intro where I talk about my tips for the hunter and my setup. Swing timer is helpful to show you your auto shoot timer, and that way if you need to move, you can time your movements in between your auto shots. Oh, I wanted to clear all that. And then yeah, we'll leave it on current segment. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess some of these guys just aren't looting the raptor corpses, because I should be able to skin them.
I need to get closer.
Nice, I can skin both of
None
these.
can stand against the serpent lords.
Lady Anaconda. I think he's got threat built up, but we'll watch it on our threat meter down here. Because we definitely don't want up. And I pulled threat, maybe? Yeah, she's dead. Okay, we're good. And then disengage. See, that disengage works really well, actually, most of the time. How were we on that fight? Yeah. Was that the trash cleanup, though, or the... Oh, okay, Lady Anaconda. There we go. But he was getting all the, multiple... Yeah, he pulled it. There we go. Now, whenever you're jumping down things like this, dismiss your pet first. You don't want the pet running all the way around and then pulling some aggro. Now, let me... apparently I missed something over here. Okay. I'm not going to skin the rest. I probably could, but jump down. Then you can call your pet back. Okay? Pro tip there for you guys. Sometimes if the distance is big enough or there's just no logical way for the pet to get back around to you, they will just magically appear next to you again. But on a little leap like that one where we just were, the pet would run all the way around to where the ramp is, probably pull some extra mobs because we didn't clear the whole room, and then pull them to you. So please, that's another thing, hunters, that goes with pet control, know when to dismiss your pet and then call it back. To avoid extra pulls. Very important. So far, the mana management is not bad at all. So I probably could be using multi-shot more. When I did this as a little bit lower level, it was more of an issue. But here, now that I'm level 24, my gear is a little bit better, and I have the extra buffs and whatnot. We're burning mobs quicker. It's just not an issue, the mana right now, so I could use multi-shot more, honestly. I could also be using Hunter's Mark more to increase my DPS even more. We're gonna skip that pull there and go straight over to here, I guess. Yeah, okay. Nothing important over there. Let's take a look at what his target is and burn that one. Yeah, it's just these snakes. Okay. Pretty sure these are skinnable, I thought. Oh, these ones are. The white ones aren't. Okay. Let's get this one real quick. Oh, I still have Cheetah on, don't I? Oops. I turned that on when I was running to catch up to them. Just means I wasn't doing optimal DPS, but of course for these mobs at my level, it didn't really matter. They're going to drop really quick, regardless. I killed that snake. There we go. There we go. Couldn't quite click on it. Okay. Yep, let's go in on him. Send the pet in first. Taunt. There we go. Yeah, the cave ceiling in here can be kind of annoying with the camera angles. Oops, wrong button. Just talk about rolling for the chest. Basically, we're just giving it to the priest. Level 17 can have it, right? Most of us, it's just going to be trash for us anyways. The 17 can probably still get some value out of, even the garbage that's in that chest, just for the vendor value. Oh, another thing I didn't mention about hunters, but you definitely want to make sure you carry enough ammo. Do not run out of ammo in a dungeon. So please, before you go into any dungeon, make sure you fill up on ammo. I did fill up on ammo before I came in here. As you can see, we've used about 1 stack already. The first time I ran this, last time, I didn't fill up all the way with ammo. I thought I had enough. I think I was just missing 3 stacks or something like that. I actually ran out of ammo right at the very end of the dungeon. So I just barely made it all the way through. On the very last boss, the one that I forgot to pick up the quest item on, the one that you summon after the escort, I actually did run out of ammo and was just meleeing him at the end. But our group easily had it anyways. But yeah, please make sure you do so. That is a leather working pattern, and I don't have it yet, so... over here. Someone got it, but I want to trade for that recipe for tailoring. I didn't see a tailoring recipe, but I guess there was one. Did I pick up? No, that's the only recipe I've gotten. Okay. Yeah, the other thing with using multi-shot, be very careful. If there are, see these snakes right back here? Those are almost too close to where the multi-shot would have pulled them, or possibly hit them as well, when I shot a multi-shot at that one we were burning. So, be aware of that too. Multi-shot can pull extra mobs if you're not careful about where you're using it. That's another thing I've seen hunters pull some death pulls like that.
That's still recharging.
Oops. Wrong guy. There we go. And then on bosses, if they last long enough, make sure you reapply your stings. This guy ain't gonna last. So, yeah, there's that. Mail. Can't use his mail yet. Oh, we can skin these snakes. I thought the white ones you couldn't. Oh, these ones we can. Alright. Switch back to cheetah. So this one, the drop is so far that the pet is just gonna, like, magically appear next to me again in a second. Yeah, that was a good upgrade, that belt for the tank. So you can see now the pet has disappeared. We just call him back. Switch out of cheetah back into a hawk, and we should be seeing Crash up here, the turtle, the mini boss. Didn't see him. Usually I see him right in this area. Turtle's got to be around here somewhere though, right? Did they not see this guy, this hole? Maybe he did. There he is. Okay, we'll let the tank build some threat. I think we're okay to go in now, maybe. Disengage. Oops, meant to hit arcane shot there. Alright. And how was our damage for Crash? Nice. It's male. Oh, we can't skin the gators? That's not cool. You can skin Crash, though. How's the overall data look so far? Okay, yeah. Looks about right. At this level, the tank should usually be the highest damage since he's doing AoE damage, or, you know, damage to multiple mobs most of the time. As much as he can, at least. Whereas I'm just single target burning. If I were to use multi-shot more often, though, I'd definitely be giving him a run for his money, that's for sure. Yeah, go ahead and pull them all. That's fine. He's got some threat built up, so let's burn that one down. We'll go ahead and multi-shot. I might pull aggro. Let's get that caster back there. I don't like casting stuff at people. Oh, wrong button. Meant to do the arcane shot there. And multi-shot to finish it, and there we go. Sting to finish him. Multi-shot was to finish her. And you can see when I'm using multi-shot, the damage was significantly improved. It makes a difference. At this level, that multi-shot is huge because it's an extra attack. It's not using up an auto attack, right? And you're hitting multiple targets with it. It's a lot of burst damage there. Great path tank. He's just taking a standard path so far. Not sure there's much else you could really do. Okay, we're gonna go in on this Shambler. Go ahead and have our pet taunt. Oops. Okay, I hit Serpent Sting again. Not that it really matters, but I'm out of mana now. So, and I need to feed the pet. Okay. Let's feed the pet some crocodile meat. We're gonna drink some milk. And then we'll pop Cheetah and go catch up to them. Or maybe not, because I think that's what's draining a lot of my mana. Well, it's only 40 mana, but then switching back to Hawk as well. I'll just stay in Hawk. Moss Agate. Oh, there is something in there I need to loot. There we go. Another thing with these dungeons, I'll just go ahead and mention because I didn't do it last time. Make sure you got plenty of room in your bags. I ran out of space on the last time and I started having to just remove things that were worth, you know, a decent amount of money, like 1 point something silver each, just to make room for the quest items. So that kind of sucked, right? You don't want to be in that situation. So make sure you empty bags out, put stuff in the bank or whatever you need to before you come in. Another thing, don't be afraid to just mouse select instead of tab target. I have seen people make a lot of mistakes tab targeting. You don't want to be one of those. Let's disengage, get this thing off me. Oh, I can't. Okay. I guess you have to be targeting the mob that's running at you to disengage. I don't know. It was showing as red. It wouldn't let me disengage there for some reason. So, whatever. Alright. Another Shambler. Well, 2 of them, really. And then that's Druid, right? Yeah. Okay, this one's gonna pat to us. Very nice. Tell the pet to taunt that one. Very good, very good. Nice. Warlock is happy with the group. Said he added all of us. Great group. Yeah. It's a pretty smooth group. I mean, we're just killing stuff so fast with this kind of DPS. It's pretty crazy, actually. These pulls don't usually go down so quickly. But fortunately, the tank knows what he's doing, it seems like. He's moving through here with efficiency. And the heals have had no trouble keeping him up, it seems. Okay, I'm going to put a couple things on him. Multi-shot, switch target, tell the pet to attack, taunt. Oh, okay, they took down the other one. But normally, if it took longer, we're just burning these so fast. But if the ads would take a little bit longer, doing that combo where I first burn a little bit on the main target, and then switch to the off target, have the pet taunt, and off tank that, and then I just burn that one down. We'll try it here. Yep, go ahead and have the pet taunt, multi-shot, and arcane shot again, and he's down. That's basically your rotation when you're in a dungeon, right? Especially if you're having the pet tank, or off tank a little bit, just off tank one of the mobs, then that's how you do it. If you're doing a single target mob like this, you're just stinging and then arcane shotting and auto shot. You can throw a multi-shot in there if you want. Just be careful you're not hitting other mobs to add them in. I'm going to start off with a multi-shot here to help take out all the little adds. I'm going to disengage there. Yeah, you do have to be targeting the mob within melee range in order to disengage. I'm going to drink some milk here. Getting low on mana again. We can go ahead and tell our pet to attack. Control 1 is your default to tell the pet to attack without you actually casting anything. Since I have it macroed. Okay, let's go for this guy. I'm just gonna have the pet on. Oh, he saw the level 17 increase. Okay, let's go ahead and get that one. Little multi-shot there. And switch target, burn. Yeah, we'll throw a sting on there just for good measure. It probably was a waste because he died so quick after. I don't even think it ticked. But whatever. Alright. Let them get the chest and the... Yeah, I pass. Alright. Lord Pythos. Time to drop. Okay, let's send our pet in on that one first. I'll tell him to taunt. Disengage. Nope. Okay, run back to the tank. And just be careful not to go near those other mobs. Let's burn Lord Pythos now. Oops. I hit escape. And ran in for some reason. Yeah, I was a mess in that fight. Because of the aggro pull. Next time I'll just stay on the main boss. I think it worked better that way. I was wondering if the pet would be able to hold the aggro, but he just couldn't really. Stinging Viper. So that one is what now? The mace, one in mace, poisons, target, chance on hit. Oh, that is good. Yeah, that's good for the shaman. Shaman won it. Actually, shaman was the only one that needed it, so. Yeah, the disengage didn't work there. So I had my pet taunt, and then I was able to just back off of. And that works. A couple different ways for us to drop threat on something. Move around a little bit so I didn't auto shoot. I didn't want to do extra. Right there, yeah, that priest body pulled again. Should also be able to skin these, I thought. But maybe not. I think really we're supposed to go that way, but this way will get us there as well. Just a little bit longer route. So, yeah, you can skin these. I guess somebody's just not picking them up. I don't know. I always loot everything. Maybe that's just me. Multi-shot there. Pulled aggro. Disengage. Did it work? No. Of course not. So we're gonna go to a Raptor Strike. One other thing I want to mention that you need to watch out for in this dungeon, there's a lot of mobs, I think it's the Druids and a couple others that can sleep. They can put the healer to sleep, they can put tank to sleep, whatever, right? So make sure that you have somebody who's able to dispel. Priests are good at that, rogues are good at interrupting with their kick. You know, things like that. Any interrupts on them or dispels for the sleep is important in this dungeon, especially if you're coming in it at the lower levels, right? Like level 20-ish. Let's go to the Druid. We'll burn him first. Tank will have the most aggro him. Then we should be able to multi-shot there. Yep, perfect. Oh, it's low again. Okay, let's drink. Two-hand staff, spirit stain. I never get any gear out of here for the hunter, honestly. We'll see. Maybe I'll get something today, but it just never really happens. I guess I did get the pattern, technically, but it's not gear. Usually you follow the mushrooms when you're faced with the decision which way to go, but there were no mushrooms here. Yeah, I think we're supposed to keep going the other way. I believe that is correct. Let's see if there's mushrooms there. Usually you just look for the mushrooms and that's the path that you need to take. Of course there's water over here, so... Yeah, I'm not... Oh, there are mushrooms over there, so that's where we need to go. Okay. That is the secret to finding your way through the maze of this dungeon. The correct path will always have mushrooms. There's little brown mushrooms growing there. Let's do a multi-shot real quick, finish off some of these little things. Melee him to finish him. How are we doing on ammo? Yeah, we'll be fine. Must have been a little lower than I thought last time. What is he saying? Good luck. If need back here, good luck. I don't know. Pulled something. Okay, we're just gonna burn this down while they work on the rest of the ads. Wish I could move him over to the other ads and then I could do a multi-shot, but that's okay, we'll just burn him. Multi-shot these guys. There we go. Is there any loot from any of those for me? Yeah, there it is. Ah, yes, the boss scum. Can't get a good angle here. Oh, yeah, he's immune to the serpent sting. What about scorpion sting? Let's try that. Yep, immune. Okay, good to know. I guess I'll just auto shot until I can arcane shot again. It's too bad I didn't feed my pet and I'm low on mana. I didn't realize we were at the boss already. It's a good thing he's easy. Ooh, agility spirit cloak. Oh, that is nice. Who else is gonna need on it? You better not. Nice. We got something, guys. That's a first. Okay, I do need some mana here, so let's drink some milk again. Oh, that's cool. Got a new piece of gear. Let's see. Oh, I was pretty good on the damage for that fight, too. Nice. And then I do need to feed the cat. There we go. And then let's get up here. Help them out. Where's he going? I don't think so, buddy. He's trying to run away. Here comes the sniper around the corner with his bow. Chest. Lots of chests here. Nice. Okay, let's let him build his aggro. Okay, now go in. Let's start with the multi-shot. Then we'll burn. Multi-shot again. Send the pet in. What's my threat on that? I pulled threat, it looks like. But yeah, he's looking at me. Okay, there we go. It showed that I pulled threat, but he wasn't attacking me. I guess he was casting whatever that was. Let's go in on that one. The druid. Don't like those guys. Oops. Did I do that? Let's have our pet taunt that one, get him off me. Thank you.
I can't cast that yet.
Using all my mana up again. Okay, so that whole thing about my mana not being too bad earlier, yeah, I take that back. Okay, let's put that on. Oh, that's a dumb-looking little cloak for being such a good one. Offhand, agility, intellect. Huh. Those aren't two stats you usually want together.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, see, I'm already running out of space in here, too. It's a good thing I'm not even picking up any of the quest items off the bosses, because I already did the quest. If you were picking those up, I'd already be filled. Of course, on a hunter, you are running one bag short, because you have to use up a bag slot for your quiver. Or ammo pouch, whatever you're using. Which really sucks. I mean, way to handicap the hunters, huh? That should have been in addition to the bags, because you really can't use it for anything else. So that's really dumb, but it's just part of being a hunter. You're good at just about everything else, so I guess you had to have a downside somewhere, right? Let's tell our pet to taunt that one. Okay, yeah, the tank got it. Good. Feral Harness of the Owl, not something I need. Probably good for the shaman, though. I don't know. I think the shamans run an enhanced. They usually do. It's a little hard to tell, though. They got a lot of mana, so they could be running Elemental. It's actually my preferred build is Elemental, but I'm leveling my shaman as enhanced. Kind of an enhanced resto combo, because I am healing dungeons. But the enhance is good for just general questing leveling. At least up until like level 40. Then the elemental spec really becomes more powerful, like noticeably more powerful. It mainly has to do with mana conservation. You can't really conserve your mana that well until you get to like in the 40s. Okay, here's another spot where you don't really need to, but it's just good practice. Dismiss the pet and then recall them after you jump. Right here, because there's no other way to get around, I don't believe, the pet would just reappear next to you. But it is good just to create the habit that every time you're jumping over something, you want to dismiss your pet and call him back.
That's still me, John.
Get off me, you little bugger. Alright. Any of those loot for me? I guess not. Okay. There are mobs right there to the right when you come through here. A lot of groups always forget about them. I don't know if we forgot, our tank doesn't realize they're there, or if he's skipping them on purpose. Either way, I often see a caster or somebody in the group not realize that they're there and back into them while you're taking out those guys right there. So be aware of that, please. And as a tank, when I tank, I always like to pull those guys first and kill them so that we don't have to worry about that. But that's just because I like to be extra safe. It is hardcore after all. Alright. 2 bosses here. Serpentis. Let's give him a few seconds to build some threat there. Okay, let's go in. I'm not going to use multi-shot because it might hit those guys off to the side. But I am going to go ahead and burn my racial ability, whatever it's called, berserking. And a multi-shot. Yeah, we were looking good on that one, huh? Agreed that. Lots of mail dropping. Wow. Do I need to drink some milk for this fight? Probably not. I don't think it's going to last that long. Oh, we're going in. Let's give him a few seconds, build some threat, and let's go in. Does the Scorpion stings work on him? I think so. You can only have one sting applied at a time, right? I think. Yeah, it reset it. Okay. Just something to be aware of there. What was he immune to? Oh, he is immune to the Serpent Sting, I think, though. Interesting. Good damage for us there. Stamina Spirit. I already got a good cloak, so definitely don't need that. I'm not gonna go skin that. It don't matter. Alright, let's roll. Woo! Alright, heading out this way. Back up Hawk. Go. Something I struggle with a lot, so I want to mention it. Don't forget to switch back to Aspect of the Hawk when you're using Cheetah just to run around. Oh. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Yeah, I got room for like one more thing in my bag, and it's going to be that quest item from the last boss. So I might have to make a little bit more room. Maybe I should figure out what my, oh, these things are worthless. Get rid of those. There we go. Just made another spot. What about these? Those are almost worthless. Yeah, I do have some stuff in here that isn't worth much that we can get rid of. Those bananas aren't worth anything. Alright, so to get to the final boss, you gotta do this little escort thing. Escort this guy, you'll go back through that main room, and then around to the... so the dungeon's kind of split up into 3 areas. Well, 4 areas, really. You have the main area that we go into right from here, and then from there you can either go left to that where we did the first boss, you can go right where we did all the rest of it, and then if you go straight across from where we're coming to the main room here, that's where the escort quest goes, and you'll fight the final boss back there. And then that final boss actually drops the quest item that starts the quest. So you won't have the quest for that coming in here. But once you talk to this guy up here at the start and then escort him all the way back, it's a giant murloc that comes up and attacks you while you're defending this guy. While he's doing some ritual or whatever. So you kill the murloc will drop an item, and I don't remember what it's called. It'll show me on here though. If I zoom into where the quest is, glowing shard. The glowing shard. So he'll drop that item will start the quest, and then you go turn that in. Some of the other quests, if you're looking for the turn in, where the person is to turn in some of the other quests in here, it's showing it right at the entrance of Wailing Caverns, but you don't see anybody there. It's because they're up above you. So the entrance to Wailing Caverns is the cave, kind of looks like a skull or a face, right? There's the 2 eyes up above the cave entrance. The left one, when you're looking at it, the left one, actually, you can, if you climb up the mountain behind the cave and drop down into that eye, the left one that you're looking at, if you drop down into that one from above, you can go down in there. That's where the quest turn-in person is. This is a fun dungeon, though. I like Wailing Caverns. It's really the first, like, real dungeon that you come into, because, let's face it, Ragefire Chasm is... it's a group activity. It's not really, like, a real dungeon, I feel like. I mean, I guess it is. It's just really low level. But, this dungeon, Wailing Caverns, is a lot of fun. It's longer, has more bosses, more fights, more mechanics. You gotta watch out for the sleeps and all that kind of stuff. More dangerous pulls. So this is a good test of your skill coming into the level 20s, because there are going to be a number of good dungeons to do as you level through the 20s and into the early 30s. So go ahead and do, Ragefire Chasm, I just play it once on each character, basically, just to get the quest done. Wailing Caverns, I will run this multiple times on a character sometimes, just because there is some good drops in here. You have lots of bosses for loot to drop from, so I just feel like it's a good one to do if you're going to do some multiple. Also good just for learning, getting into good habits if you're learning to heal or tank or anything like that. Practice those skills here, practice your healing here, practice your tanking here, because it is still a fairly easy dungeon. Very few people actually die here, although it can happen if you're just being dumb. It's a good starter dungeon, I feel like. So, run it a few times. Practice different roles, DPS if you're a shaman or something. DPS the first time maybe to learn it, and then try healing it the next time. Or as a warrior, try tanking. If you don't usually tank, you usually just DPS. Although if you're a warrior in classic hardcore, you should always be tanking dungeons. That's just like your role, unless there's more than one warrior in the group. Which there are a lot of warriors in hardcore classic, so you might have multiple warriors and have one that's just DPSing, although they usually end up off tanking. So we just escort this guy all the way around. As you can see, there are a few spots where he stops to do kind of a ritual thing, and some ads spawn. You just kill them and then continue onward. You can clear all these earlier on when in the dungeon, when you first come into this room and you're clearing ads around here. You can clear all these ones as well, or you can do them when you're doing the escort at this point. Doesn't really matter either way. That's another thing to be aware of. The raptors, when you're killing them, they do call for help sometimes. So especially if you're a tank and you want to be extra careful, a lot of times it's a really good idea. Let's disengage. Nope. Okay, pet taunt. Thank you. Nope, that didn't work either. But anyways, as I was saying, it's a really good idea to pull the raptors back further rather than try and fight them near some other raptors. Because they'll do that screech thing and pull the others to them. Strength Spirit, that's useless. Let's just skin some of these. Since this guy moves slow, we got time. Man, I've got so much leather. I filled up my bank with leather too before I came in here. And I've kind of maxed out my leather working to where I can get to at this level. I mean, I can keep making more stuff, but it's too high level for me to actually use. So I need to get to a higher level so I can actually use some of the stuff I'm making. And then it will be useful. I wonder if I could just click it there. Oh, I can, so I don't need to open the bag. Okay. Okay, so he starts doing his summoning thing or whatever, and then you got the ads coming in. Let's go ahead and send the pet in. Start to burn. Hopefully he's got good threat on the other one, because I'm going to multi-shot here. He did not. Okay, let's disengage. I'm going to run over to here. Okay, let's finish that guy. Do a multi-shot again, and now switch to this one. I think we have one more wave like that, maybe one or two more waves, and then the boss will appear. Probably two more waves, right? Okay, here they come. Which one's the tank going to go for first? That's going to be the fastest one. I think we need to... We're going to have our pet tank that one.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I don't have a target.
Oh, ads over here.
I can't cast that yet. I need more mana.
And running out of mana. That's not great. See if I can get a break in here to drink some milk. Yep. Okay. I like how people come into Wailing Caverns to look for groups. It's kind of funny to me. Most people in here are either going to be farming, not wanting to group, or they are going to be in a group already doing the dungeon. So I'm not sure how effective that is. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, I think he's good now. Let's go ahead and pop Berserking. We're just going to do maximum DPS here. Burn this guy down. We'll reapply our sting just because I got nothing else going on at the moment. Let's do the multi. Let's do an arcane. He's almost down. We're going to get another arcane. Nope. Nice. Okay, what do we get? Cloth. Okay. So much cloth drops in here. These look okay, though. They're slightly better than what I got. Let's greet it. Trousers of the monkey. Yeah, I didn't get it. Okay. I did loot the quest item, though, this time, right? Yep, there it is. That's what, my bags were full last time. I looted the boss and didn't realize that I had forgotten that. And then by the time I realized I came back to loot it, the corpse was gone. So, yeah. Sad. Let's, dismiss pet real quick. Oh, I didn't make it. Yeah, I guess 40 seconds and I could hearth. Is it worth it? I don't know. I like to save my hearth. My hearth is set to crossroads, and I keep it there because I can hit the rend buff when the notification pops up from Nova World buffs. It gives me just enough time to hearth if I'm not in the middle of combat or something to hearth to crossroads and get the buff. So I keep it there, and I like to keep my hearth available for that because we are about to lose our rend buff. We did that in basically 1 hour, it looks like, is what that took us. Since my rend buff lasted the entire thing. Anyways, guys, that is Wailing Caverns as a hunter, DPSing. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about DPSing Wailing Caverns, about playing a hunter, the add-ons I'm using, anything like that. I'm happy to answer questions. And you can look forward to some future Wailing Caverns content with tanking and healing. So I'll be making videos for both of those. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.